Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to do one more Sebenza video, then I will get off the Sebenza kick and we'll move on to something else. What I want to look at in this video is fit and finish of Sebenzas. What are you looking for fit and finish? Why is a Sebenza the folder that all other folders are supposedly judged by, and why are they top dog in fit and finish? And in my opinion, in my experiences, there's a few things they do really, really well, and attention to very small details. And I'm going to try to explain some of these. Okay, first of all, a Sebenza, this is the inlaid version, so you're getting more. These slabs are actually inlaid into this titanium, and I'm going to try to get a macro shot and show everybody who does not have one of these Sebenzas how tight that fit is all the way around. And this is pretty dirty, but you can see the fit. See how straight this line is in between? Is just absolutely perfect. The inlays fit in there so perfect it looks like you just slapped a sticker on top of the titanium. And that is not the case. Both of these pieces are cut to the exact same measurements and then laid in them pockets that are milled into this titanium. Okay. Another thing you're starting to see here is the rounded spine. Not really rounded, but it's kind of chamfered, so it kind of takes away all the harsh edges. Okay, then we're going to, of course, get into fit and finish for Sebenzas. The action is just crazy smooth. Very nice. Okay, and lockup will vary on Sebenzas about from that to about that. And again, neither one is anything to be worried about. So anyways, lockup very good. No wiggle at all. You don't hear about Sebenzas with wiggle. I mean, there may have been a couple that have slipped out. You know, someone may leave a comment, well, I had one with wiggle. And it's not that I don't believe you, just your odds of getting a perfect folder from Chris Reeve, I mean, it's pretty good. I'd probably say like 99%. So you can see how this blade is dead centered in here. And a lot of folders can get that right without costing as much as what these guys do. Also, I want to look at, like we've talked about in the review and I've talked about several times, the amount of light that you could shine through this. If you were to take a flashlight and shine underneath, it shows how tight the blade is next to the scales, the titanium. Okay, so we're going to move on to the, what do we want to look at next? The pocket clip. You can see how this, let's take it out just to show you. This is one screw into this titanium slab here. And you can see how tight this fit is. The clip is like in there, and the screw's not even in. That's how well it matches up. So just absolutely perfect. So that's what you get with Chris Reeve. I guess we'll go ahead and leave this off. And what sets it apart, I'm going to disassemble this knife. I'm not going to reassemble it. I don't think I'm going to have time for that. But just to show you the tight tolerances on this guy. and how fast you can clean this due to the tolerances. And I've already got a video on the fast cleaning of a Sebenza. So what I did, I just loosened up this one just a tiny bit. You can pop the screw out. And here's what makes it so special. You're going to want to hold down this lock bar so it doesn't slap the other titanium side. And then you have your bearing and your two washers. So this bearing is almost like a spacer. You see, you can actually pop this bearing out if you wanted to. I'm not, but you can see how I'm moving it. And you can check out the other video if you want to see the fast cleaning of a Sebenza. But that spacer is spaced absolutely perfect. So when you put the two sides of the titanium down and you squish it down, the spacer takes all the pressure, and then the difference that's in between this bronze phosphorus washer on either side allows that action to just swing, and allows you to tighten up your pivot screw tight, because you can see how that spacer keeps the tension on the blade, on the tang. So no matter how tight you squeeze this down, the blade still spins absolutely perfect. So I mean, that's awesome, and you can do that due to the tolerances on these back spacers here, and we'll break that down to show you. And again, I'm not trying to sell you on these higher-end knives, but a lot of people say, you know, why is this a Sebenza cost? Like, why do they cost so much? And hard to keep all this in frame. This is why. All these tolerances. People say, tolerance, tolerance. What are you talking about, tolerance? This is it. So this is your stop pin here. And it, too, is perfectly spaced by this piece. So this goes like this. Of course, your titanium slab here. You see this knife's pretty dirty. I haven't broke it down in a long time. And then this. So you can see how that keeps this back spacer spaced apart exactly right. Well, not back spacer, this the knife width here. And it's the same deal with this back bead. And we're running on 8 minutes, so I gotta hustle. But I think I've showed you what I wanted to show you. So same deal here. You have the female screw. That's another fine detail. The screw does not screw into titanium, because what would happen if you stripped out the titanium side of the screw thread? Well, you'd have to either get a replacement slab or your knife would be junk. Well, now if you strip it out, which I haven't, and I haven't heard about it, but if you do, it's just a female part of the screw. And this is not unique to the Sebenza, but it's one of the things that makes the Sebenza so nice. So here's what I was getting at. This spacer is also perfectly spaced to keep this width exactly perfect, so the blade will come up in there perfectly center every time. And that's why it's so easy to take this knife apart and put it back together. And one more thing I want to talk about. We have about 40 seconds. The Sebenza has a heat-treated lock bar face. So there's what you're looking at. You can kind of see where I've wore it down a little bit. So yeah, guys, that's what you're getting when you hear about Sebenza's fit and finish and stuff, and tolerances. Like that kind of fit when you can space the knife apart. The spacer in the blade and the pivot system here, that just fit and finish is outstanding. And that's kind of why they go for the big bucks and why they're so awesome. Thanks a lot, guys, and tons of videos coming up next, so keep your eye out. Thanks. Have a good night.